Hi guys, and welcome to another reaction to the Schmoedown right here on Dedicated to Art. As usual, I'm your host, Kees Cornelissen, joined by just Chris today. Nico is busy with school these days, so he already watched this match before us. Because yeah, we need to wait a few days before we could actually see it. But we're here now to watch, a match I think all of us have been pretty hyped for. In round one of the singles tournament, Jeannine the Machine versus Mike Kalinowski. Two, the second part. This happened earlier this year already, and Mike won because of luck. I don't know what to think of that in regards to today. So, Chris, what do you think will happen today?
Okay. You know how on Who Cares Anyway, I like to joke about history repeating itself a lot?
Mm.
So let's rewind the clocks 2 years. Let's go back to the 2017 season. Mike Kalinowski finds himself butting heads with another very popular female competitor in the Schmoedown in singles. Before the tournament, he winds up going up against Brianne Chandler. And, he takes out Makuga by knocking him out in the first round, hence why he won the nickname KO in the first place. Then then after Brianne pulls the upset on Clark Wolf, and then they have their rematch in the singles tournament. And Mike just seemed to have her number. Look, Jeannine, you are one of my favorite people in this entire freaking community. I love you. I adore you. You are great. But you're going to need a little bit of a miracle to pull off the win against Kalinowski again. I want Jeannine to win, but something's telling me that round 2 is going to be Roka Kalinowski. Because I think that's going to be one of the few things from my bracket I actually get right.
Then again, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, Nico isn't here. He, of course, would have gushed about Jeannine and whatnot, and claimed how she would win it and how she's changed things since the last match, blah, 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 blah. Shit I don't care about. I'm also going with Kalinowski for this one. Even though I will not be at all surprised if Jeannine wins. I just, I made my bracket. I picked Kalinowski. It was a gut feeling, nothing else. I could be very wrong. But so far in the bracket, I haven't been very wrong a lot. So we'll see how it goes today. I might be wrong. I might be right. We're just going to press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, hold on.
What you doing?
Hey, Paul.
Oh, dear.
Thinking?
Oh.
Just sitting here contemplating how much of a mistake it was for you to crash my interview.
I have to
Dude,
pretend to like this character
that
right now,
interview
don't
needed
I?
me,
Because
all right?
I did something
Came
very
in and
nice
spiced
for
it up.
him and his wife over
I mean,
the
what's
weekend.
gonna be like
Real talk.
yesterday's news?
That's all you keep saying.
Which, by the way,
Buddy,
Karen Volpe,
write us
her
to
charity
hire someone.
goal
Or
did
write
hit
a
over
pitch. I will refer
30,000.
you to people if you want.
I can't write. I'm busy watching movies. Now listen, very busy. Got things to do.
Yeah, I got a sword right here, so just
All right, look. I'm only leaving because you got a weapon. All right?
yeah, okay.
I got movies to watch.
Great, wonderful.
You think?
Thank you. Rookies.
That is actually very good that they raised that much money. Sorry, I just didn't want to talk and over a scene.
No, it's fine. I just think Paul Preston's wife's, drive is much more important than Paul Preston the character.
I'm Christian Harloff.
No, that's
Ellis.
true.
We are at the very last match in the first round of the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament, and what a match we have.
What a tournament it has been thus far. The winner advances to round number 2 to join the other round 2 advancers, and you talk about a matchup, Christian, then you talk about a live event. Two names,
Is it
two
me or is
stars
the
in this
audio
league.
It's a
A
little
Jeannine the
choppy.
Machine, a Mike Kalinowski. I mean, those are just two interplanetary forces about to collide here today.
Well, they really are, because they've had a beef for a very long time. You know the history of what has happened in the past with the defunct. You had Miss Movies and Stacey Howard. Miss Movies jumped over to Mike Kalinowski. There was inner strife, and all this stuff happened with the Viper Squad. Mike Kalinowski blew them up, and then they finally played. They had a match, and Mike won. And it is hard not to say that Mike Kalinowski is not playing the hot hand, because he is. He is the Inner Geekdom champion. He is co-holder of the Teams Championship. He was a second away from playing Paul Oyama for the Singles Championship. He's having a miracle run. But there's something in the air about the machine. There's something about the way that she's been playing. She's been that close every single time to the big match, whether it was the Manager Bowl or the Triple Threat at Astros Collision. She's right there. Is today the day that she pulls off that big one.
And when you are a competitor like that, you're looking for your moment. You're looking for that. If you're a running back, you just want to find that hole that's going to take you to glory. Having a live event, having something like
Jones.
this, the Schmoedown Throwdown could be the announcement that
And
Jeannine
he's just waiting
like you said,
oh,
in her
dude,
way
what
is
the
a
fuck
guy
did you
who
do?
knows how to wear a leather jacket and a lot of big
Yeah,
guns.
I just found our
He's been
thumbnail
playing
post for the match
really
for
good
this
season.
this
and
match. So.
the other big prize here is that the winner plays the outlaw John Roca.
What a treat!
John Roca beat Rachel Silvestrini in a great match in the first round. Barely did it, but he did it. And now he waits for either the Machine or Kalinowski. And that starts to play. Now, is that going to motivate Mike Kalinowski? Because we know that they have the big match in Orlando coming up on October 19th. And once again, you guys want to be there, you should be there. October 19th. And
we're going to be there.
He's going to be defending.
Apparently, I've disappointed Brian Newsbound. That's not my top
Team
5
title
favorite
match, Mike Kalinowski and his partner Chance Ellison defending against Dan Merle and Roca. Merle cashing in his free-for-all win.
It's more than a moment.
You can get those tickets right now if you're going to be there.
China Sticks.
But is that in his head?
It's taken on a
Is he
life
thinking about that? That's a lot.
It's a moment
to the rest of your
in
schedule,
several
where Jeannine has this match to focus on.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
in
you
all
see
the
it
shows
time in college
ever
football,
since,
and I think the
and all the
Schmoedown is
reactions
exactly like
ever
college
since.
football in a number of ways.
And it's popped up multiple times every show and reacted.
It's now the name of our
find
army.
out exactly
So.
how we got here in just a second. But I also wanted to let people know, because if you've been following the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook group, if you've been foowing Twitter or following everything that was
when D2A versus C2A happens, it'll be the Action Army versus the China Sticks Army.
For this league.
It was the worst month of my life.
It was pretty bad. However, one day he walked into where I was sitting, and he said to me,
hold on, would that make you a traitor, or would that make you a double agent?
Which I thought was going to be ridiculous. I looked at it, and I said,
yes.
Let's do it. What is that? We've been calling it the Nuke.
Were you sober?
No. We were calling it the Nuke. You will find out what the Nuke is.
Oh, yes.
All right, so
we'll find out what the Nuke is. I've heard about that.
That's right. But now we're going to find out exactly how Machine and Kalinowski got their second match. Here we go.
This is it. This is the moment. After 2 years building up for you, for this moment, I'm proud of you. But for me, it's Saturday.
5, 4, 3,
White bread.
and your winner by way of technical knockout, Mike the Killer Kalinowski. What a miracle season by Kalinowski so far this year.
Getting closer to Mikey 3-belt.
Fans came to me saying, hey, Mikey 3 belts, and, well, here I am.
Mike Kalinowski is now the third.
He is 2 belts.
I'm going for that 3rd belt.
Once again, Mike Kalinowski finds himself face-to-face with Jeannine the Machine against.
This match is not an indicator of how well you play. You seem to be getting stronger and stronger as a competitor. More egg.
Jeannine the Machine takes the lead with that one.
You are open to a rematch, though.
Oh, definitely. Anytime.
That was a fluke, his victory. That kind of makes her the champion herself.
I set out last year to take the Inner Geekdom title, and I got it. Every time I open my mouth to say what I'm going to do, it happens. You see what happens when you doubt me. Keep doubting me.
Sometimes people make bad decisions, and that bad decision was challenging the Machine.
Victory tastes so good.
You can feel it. You can feel it. These two, I mean, a good point is made there, though, with Jeannine the Machine. That Mike Kalinowski's trying to go for that 3rd belt. And not only is Jeannine trying to get the big win, but how great would it feel for Jeannine if Jeannine was the one that ended Mike Kalinowski's singles season. If today is the last time that Mike plays in the singles division because of Jeannine,
it would be a little poetic.
Oh, it's a huge spur going on to the next season for Jeannine, and then you're right, just kind of stopping Mikey 3 belts in his tracks right there, and then that's going to give him a lot to think about as he continues on to Orlando. I like both these human beings a lot, but Jeannine did something very nice for me this morning. She shows up to the studio, and I walk in, as I usually do, and she gave me this, and this is much more than just a fashion statement. This is actually a wristband that is helping to promote one of our good friends in the movie trivia Schmoedown, Paul the Powder Keg Preston. His wife, Karen, is currently battling, bravely fighting cancer, and we have been given word that a Facebook group has started. You can make donations to help Karen and Paul fight this dreaded disease. I was talking to Paul about it. They're both in very good spirits, but he mentioned to me it's like when you're fighting a battle like this, you need an army, and we encourage everybody out there to be a part of that army. I posted the Facebook donation link both in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown fan page, and I just tweeted it out from my personal account, so please consider giving something to the fight. Help join the army and be a part of Karen and Paul's fight. We love you, Karen. We love you, Paul.
And you guys go check out Call to Action, who put together a little charity stream for her that I participated in, along with our good friends Cinefanatics and Doug from Take 3.
What do we got?
It was a fun time.
Jeannine the Machine, she knows her
Wasn't
rom-coms,
movies there?
Oh, yeah,
Albert?
and Albert.
And
Albert Weird Dharma.
Having a huge heart.
She does have a good
He's just the best.
heart.
I love
That's
that guy.
very true. And Mike the Killer Kalinowski.
Not as big of a heart.
No, that's it.
No. Super nice guy, though. I do like him. Oh, and he's very good at comic book movies. We know his inner geekdom prowess, but the guy also knows his way around Jimmy Bond.
That is true. And with that, I ask you, are you ready to go?
I meant James Bond.
Does he?
Now I am ready.
Does he?
Yes.
All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia.
Trivia Schmoedown.
Introducing first. Led to the ring by her manager, the Urban Gladiator, Jay Washington, representing the Time Machine, with a record of 3 wins, 4 defeats, and 2 knockouts. She is Jeannine the Machine. Listen to the audience.
Jay Washington emerges. There's Jeannine. There's that now classic confident stroll. It's like she's walking a catwalk to an ass-kicking contest, and she is going to be the winner. Jay Washington can just sit back and give a grin.
She's become one of our most popular players that we have, and I will tell you also to have Jay
It's got kind of
this is something. This is going to be
every
you feel the
time
energy
like,
already.
there's
Yeah,
a
I mean, I was
Jeannine
going to say,
match.
Jeannine has gotten
How will
so
she
good
have
at
her hair
performing
this
live.
time?
It's almost like she doesn't need Jay anymore. Do you agree with that?
I love how it's almost always different.
First of all,
Yeah.
she doesn't need me. She wants me here. There's a big difference. But you need to change that shirt.
This is
Yes. Yes, he does.
Okay, this is early for some of us on the West Coast. On the East Coast, they waking up to breakfast and brunch and stuff and realizing what the hell are you wearing? And it's weird. Christian has on the suit jacket. You got on something for Forever 21. Let's get this right.
Ellis just went heel.
Yeah, this is actually purchased at Forever 21, and it's not only representing the fall, but also the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, currently 4-0, taking on the Boston College Eagles this Saturday.
Nice.
What is this, an NCAA plug now?
And her opponent, representing
God.
Corruption, led to
Jay
the ring
never
by
changed.
his managers, Grace Hancock and the pit boss, Ken Knapsack. With a record of 6 wins, 5 defeats, and 4 knockouts. He is the reigning Movie Trivia Schmoedown Inner Geekdom Champion. The reigning Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champion. He is Mike the Killer Kalinowski. A lot of cheers to Kalinowski.
Ken Knapsack.
Boo, Grayson Ken, boo.
Greeted.
Yeah, you couldn't even read it.
Mikey Two Belts.
That's right.
Mikey Two Belts.
Before the camera focused, he turned away.
Look at this guy. He's very happy.
He looks like he's wearing a 1980s power suit with those shoulder pads.
Excuse me, can somebody get the geriatric man? He's looking too hard. He's going to have a stroke or something. I don't want to deal with this.
Oh, boy.
Wow, already going
now
after
a
it.
battle of age.
Don't you got some Wendy's to sell or something?
All right, so the battle between corruption and Jay Washington has been going on for a long time. Look at those belts.
Good to see you guys again. How are you?
Look at Mike.
Here before.
Look at Mike setting up.
Did you hear something? Did you hear something?
We're watching.
I was expecting a little show, a little skit or something. That's your thing, isn't it? Bits? You got bits and skits?
Bits and skits.
At some point, you think Mike or his managers would have like a roadie.
A lot of gold.
He used the skits word.
He is
57-year-old suburban housewife?
He is a team
I was
champion.
looking for some chuckles and some guffaws up here, some hijinks.
All right, we're going to ask Jay
Anyway.
Washington now. Jay's is walking up as we have our competitors. This
All right,
is the last
let's
match in the
just get
first
a perfect
round
round.
of the Ultimate
I'll
Schmoedown.
brag
Winner
about how I
goes
would've
on to
beaten
play
both
the
these
outlaw
people.
John Roca. Both competitors have sat down. Mark, what are the rules
Yawn.
for this match?
In round number 1 of this 3-round contest, the competitors.
Hold on, Case. If you're gonna say that, you gotta say it like walking in Batman Returns. Yawn.
Know-how. Each question's worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing.
I don't
in
like
round
that
number 1. As
movie.
soon
I
as
don't
we
care
ask
for
the
it,
question,
and I
you have about 15
definitely don't
seconds to
remember
write down the
that,
best attempt at an
so,
answer
yeah.
on the whiteboard in front of you. Once we ask you by name or nickname to please reveal your answer, show what you wrote to your camera.
I'm not a fan
Same
of
time,
Batman
verbalize your
Returns.
best
It's
attempt
like
at
a
an answer
divisive
into
movie.
the
There are people who like it and people who
Penmanship
don't.
is always appreciated. I'll remind each competitor that you have 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. Not sure you heard a question right. You want to buy yourself another 15
How
seconds.
dare
Use
you
the
have a
JTE
different
rule.
opinion
You also
than
each
me.
have one challenge to be used at
I
any
know,
point
right?
throughout the
By the way,
3-round
check out
match.
our
I see
latest
a lot of
episode
gold
of
on
the Who
Mike's
Cares
side.
Anyway
Jeannine
podcast
has some
on
gold
controversial
on, and
opinions.
obviously these
Shameless
leaves are
plug.
golden, so I think it's
Yeah,
about time to
if you're a
get
fan
it.
of Toy
All right,
Story,
we asked Mike.
watch
Are you
out.
ready?
Hot take
If
coming.
you're
in.
Ready?
All right, Machine, are you ready?
If you're a fan of
Let's get ready
Spider-Man,
to
but the
Schmoedown.
good Spider-Man movies, I'll take them in.
All
Good
right.
crowd here. Good crowd.
Good crowd. Question one in the category fantasy/sci-fi.
Okay.
Who played Princess Buttercup in 1987's The Princess Bride?
Movie. Can you name this tribute answer? Who?
Yeah, if I had
Who
cared
did
about
the
this
that was?
movie, then
She's the police
Indiana
commissioner
Jones.
in
Five, I'll answer
Blade
that
Runner
later.
2049,
Okay, good.
and the
talk.
general in Wonder Woman.
2, 1. We start with Mike.
I'm not gonna.
Yes.
Robin
and
Wright.
Jeannine.
Robin Wright.
Here you go. One
Thank
more.
God nobody put Robin Wright
Right.
pen. I was so.
I knew it
concerned
because of your
The
hint,
answer
but
is Bonnie
I'm not gonna.
Somerville.
It is our own Bonnie Somerville. 0-1 lifetime in the Schmoedown.
0-2. 0-2. You go next, my friend.
I'm just waiting for the dramatic pause.
Oh, there you go.
And we are into action-adventure films. And your question, who played the vile President Coriolanus Snow in The Hunger Games? I mean, when you're starting to name kids Coriolanus, just...
You know,
just go
if
back
I
to Bob.
cared about these
Post-apocalyptic,
movies,
you know,
then
Just go to
Oh, I don't
Jim
care about these
John.
movies. I just still know the trivia because I love this actor.
Yukon, Coriolanus.
5, 4.
I don't know the actor.
3, 2, 1.
Did he seriously sing 5?
Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Donald
Mike.
Sutherland.
There we go. 2-2.
A voice I would buy orange juice from.
Yeah.
Question 3. Dramas. Who plays the ambitious young jazz drummer Andrew in 2014's Whiplash?
All right, I put you in a room with every musical instrument under the sun. Which one are you going to play?
Piano.
Have you ever taken piano?
No, my brother did.
you-
And
I was gonna say, as
brother was
as a
like
drummer of
really
almost
good
20 years,
talent.
I would
Yes.
have
What
to
happened to you?
like hand in my
didn't
sticks
try
if
it.
I didn't know
5,
who this was.
4, 3.
Yep.
See if I can hum really well. 1. Pens down, please.
Miles
And
Teller.
Go with Mike.
Miles Teller?
Yes, Jeannine.
Miles Teller.
Tie game.
Tied at 3. Perfect round so far. As we move into your next
Go
category,
Jason.
these are movie quotes. Movie quotes. What 1980s film features the line, "Are you trying to tell me that my mother has got the hots for me?"
Jesus
You
Christ.
said you're a great hummer, so show your talent. Hum a score, and I'll tell you what it's from.
Didn't you recently watch this
I did
movie?
recently rewatch this movie.
Bum, 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 bum,
And
bum,
are you like the one
5.
asshole in the entire world who
realized in
doesn't
the
like
middle
it?
3,
2.
2.
More than that,
1.
bro.
Stupid. You
You're
can't
like
ask
the
me to do
worst.
that. That was
I
bad.
hate it.
Jeannine.
Weird Science.
Back to the
Back
future.
to the future.
Yeah.
He had it. You were paying close
So
attention.
please, people, at me. I have a full
Send
video
us
essay
your-
coming at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I almost, yeah.
Okay.
I changed it up
Send
in the middle.
us your
Clearly
tweets.
E.T.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. All right. Don't ask me to do shit like that.
And
Stuff
just
like
give it a
that.
fair
Stuff like
shot
that.
when it
All right,
comes
here we
out.
go.
You're swearing now too?
I'm a
Wow.
dum-dum.
The old man finally
Stupid.
lost it.
I'm a dummy. I admit it.
Mark this day.
Bibiani looked at me like a disapproving parent, and he had every right to.
After
all
question
right.
4, on September 28th, the year of our Lord 2019, Christian George Harloff lost his mind.
Dummy. All right, here we go.
Get it back.
And every comment is right. All right, here we go. New releases. Number 5. New releases. Who provides the voice of the title character in Detective Pikachu?
All right. I'm just going to vamp to the camera.
Haven't seen it,
So you
but
get tickets for my show next week in New York City, October
liked
3rd,
it.
New York Comedy Club. Hey, sounds like some people are going.
Not great, but I
Three.
liked it.
MarkEllisLive.net.
2, 1. Pens down. We go with Mike.
Deadpool.
Kalinowski.
Deadpool.
Yes, Jeannine.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, I actually took the extra time to write down Deadpool.
All right, we move on to the world of comedies.
All right. Yes, for that.
It's my own fault. Who starred opposite Eddie Murphy as the character Louis Winthrop III in 1983's Trading Places?
Ooh.
You excited about that, Eddie? Going back to
Yeah, I like what he's been doing.
December
He's been going
21st.
around doing the rounds and promoting it. So
but not in comedy clubs.
no, 5, not yet. 5,
Still waiting.
4,
Still waiting.
3, 2, 1. Jeannine.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yes, Mike.
Dan Aykroyd.
Got it.
That's
Okay.
right.
6-5.
Crystal
Mike hasn't
Skull
missed yet.
Vodka himself.
All right, next question, guys. Category of horror/thriller.
Okay.
What 2019 psychological horror film was directed by Tate Taylor and it starred Octavia Spencer?
Speaking of horror,
I like
somebody
this
at
movie.
desk went to a.
I actually like it a lot.
To the
I didn't know
Universal
you were-
Horror
I didn't
Nights.
know- How much did I have to pay you to do that?
Nothing. I just watched Makuga get scared out of his prize admission. 5.
I hope I remember
4,
the poster.
3, 2, 1. Mike.
Mom?
Yes, and Jeannine.
Mom.
Got it. All right.
That's
so
probably
Mike
the
Kalinowski-
translation, but
Mike
Ma.
Kalinowski is a question away
No,
from a perfect
I know the
round,
poster.
and Jeannine is looking
The
to get herself
poster in
7 points
English.
with this next question.
Oh.
The meatloaf. Your last question.
You were so close.
Is
You're
in
so
the world of
close.
animated movies.
I know,
by
that's the
hand on a
thing.
Computer. And your question: Who voices Poppy, the happiest troll ever born, in 2016's Trolls?
Oh, sorry,
Now
sorry.
you can do.
Yay for knowing trailers, you know.
You ever have those good luck troll dolls?
Yeah, I wish I had one now. 5, 4,
The rollerblader.
3.
Repeat the
2.
question.
Repeat the question. There you go.
Oh,
Who voices Poppy, the happiest troll ever born in
Good song.
2016's
Yeah, it's a good song.
Trolls?
Not Oscar worthy, but good.
oh, it's nominated, you know.
Unlike
It was nominated because it was popular. And people were like, oh, this movie didn't suck.
5,
Stop
Oh.
4,
it. Stop it.
Three.
And yet, where was Drive It
2,
Like You Stole It?
1. Jeannine.
I don't
Anna
know.
Kendrick.
Anna
Yes.
Kendrick.
And Mike.
Anna Kendrick.
Perfect round.
He has a perfect round.
Kalinowski. All right. Mike Kalinowski hits the perfect round.
And I
so
only got
Mike
halfway
Kalinowski
there.
will have this question, and Mike,
You-
do not
you can
have
just
to write
answer
this
it,
down,
by the
Mike.
way.
You don't have to write it down. This is just for you. All right, here you go, Mike. Here is your question for 1 extra point. Who directed the Mark Wahlberg war film Lone Survivor?
Peter Berger.
Peter Berg.
1 more point from
Well
Mike.
done.
9-7. Mike Kalinowski hits all 8 questions and the perfect round there. Mike Kalinowski having a hell of a round thus far, but now we get to the wheel round where it could be
I was
make or
thinking,
break.
like,
It really
he
could, but I mean, look.
uses
Mike
Mark
Kalinowski, yeah, he
Wahlberg
threw
in
a
all
perfect
his
round
movies.
and got the bonus question, but
Pretty
Jeannine
much,
not
outside
blinking. Got
of
7 points. Missed one.
Battleship
I
and everything he
mean,
did
this is still
beforehand.
anyone's match as we get into the wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom,
Oh.
and justice. On that
He directed
there
him
wheel,
twice.
you're going to have 10
He
different
directed him
categories,
twice
10
in
different corners
2016.
of movie trivia, Schmoedown goodness, and we also have
Actually,
what
both
every
films were
competitor hopes to spin
good.
Spinner's choice and fan favorite
Very good.
opponent's choice. That's always a rollicking, good, dramatic time. Each question, once you settle on a category, is worth 2 points. You have 4 questions in each genre. If you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1, and I will remind the competitors that stealing is available in round number 2. So, Mike Kalinowski, you got 2 belts up there. You have a 2-point lead, 1 for each belt. Would you like to spin first or defer to Jeannine?
I'll go with tradition and go first.
He's going to go first.
All right, Mike's going to spin. Please spin
From
from
the
the
wheel, not the pins, please.
Jeannine
Oh, you
has
mean like I
Mike
shouldn't
all
have in my
three
match against
left.
Brian
Out
Michaels
there,
last
challenges.
time?
Mike's gonna spin it. There's the spin.
There you go. Solid spin.
First, we really
He's
need
looking
to
for
talk
Bond.
about your
This is what he hit
strategy.
against her last time. Well, spinner.
I was
took
in
Bond.
the lead.
He has
I like to
gotten
play
Bond a
from
handful of
behind,
times
or
in
I like to
some
play
team
ahead.
matches,
Okay,
and
put the
when
pressure
he won
on.
the title against the Shire Wolves. He hit it. So
You
he's looking
actually
for it
told me
now.
once, if
If
the
he can hit
gap
James
is
Bond, he's gonna
too
be in
small,
good shape.
you
But
go
it looks like
second.
it's a little
If
too
the
fast.
gap
It's a
is
little
big,
too
I
fast.
forgot about
Wait,
But it could be
wait,
spinner's
wait.
choice here.
Yes.
It
I
goes
dare you,
around
Mike.
and
Take
hits
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Let's see how you do.
Is he gonna go away from it? Is he gonna push his luck, or does he go with Scorsese? Gonna go again?
All right.
Yeah.
You looked over to the management to
Yeah.
confirm, and
All right, so here
And
it
actually,
is.
no, you're
Not
totally
gonna be
right. I
scored.
did
He
say
was
that. I
just
just
there. He
completely
got away
forgot in
from
the moment.
Bond, and it was
Uh-huh.
just a second away from
And I was
hitting
thinking,
spinner's
if
choice.
you
He
had
would have chosen
just
Bond, and it landed on Scorsese.
let Michael,
he wants a
Brian,
James Bond category.
spin first, then.
James Bond goes overseas.
It looks like it's going farther
Top
away
secret
here. But wait,
missions.
but it's coming around. It's coming around.
It couldn't
It's coming
possibly.
around.
No, don't you dare. Oh, my.
Oh, my God, he does it again. He does it again. He got
You cannot make this shit up. You
How does that
cannot make
happen?
this up.
He does it again.
All right.
How does it?
I don't want to hear the shit. I don't want to hear Roka.
Screw you. You are hearing all the shit right now, Mike, because you how do you keep fucking doing this? How do you keep fucking doing this? Seriously.
Here we go.
This is not
So,
fate.
craziness
This is
in
not
the
fate.
crowd already.
It's bullshit.
Here
Jesus.
we go.
It's fixed.
She can still win this.
All right, so here we go. So, Mike, you
This
get
is your
4
fifth
questions. You got 4
fucking
questions
match
in, the
in a
realm of
row,
James Bond.
teams and
Here we
singles,
go.
where you
Still
got
in.
Bond.
This is not,
Four.
it's not even over.
All right, 4
Not
questions.
He
We're
actually,
going through a
no,
lot
he
of
didn't
different
get it
emotions
against
right here.
Bateman.
You got to choose a character.
And I
All
also
right,
believe he
here we
didn't
go.
get it against
Question
Snyder.
1. Mike, what famous landmark does Grace Jones jump from in A View to a Kill?
That would be the Eiffel Tower.
For 2
Yes.
points, that is correct. All right.
Oh,
Eiffel
I don't remember
Tower, one of
that.
Las Vegas's best landmarks.
because I
Question
don't
2.
really care for that
The
movie.
character of Pussy Galore appears in which Bond film?
Goldfinger, Jesus.
Oh, cut the crap, will ya?
Yeah, he's doing
points.
Ben Bateman.
He's perfect.
Jesus Christ, come on,
So
everyone
far,
knows
2 more
that.
questions. In the Bond franchise, who was the first actor to portray M?
Bernard
Bernard
Lee.
Lee. Bernard Lee, then Robert
5,
Brown, then
4,
and
3.
Judi Dench.
Choice.
Is it A, Jack Lord, B, Robert Brown, C, Anthony Dawson, D, Bernard Lee?
oh my God, say Robert Brown.
Robert Brown?
Ha!
Is it A,
Dude!
Jack Lord, B, Robert Brown, C, Anthony Dawson, D, Bernard Lee?
Come on.
A.
He played.
Correct. Looking for Bernard Lee.
Whoa.
He
That
played
would've been a big
M
steal,
for,
but still,
I don't know,
Mike
like
Kalinowski
13
missing
movies
a
or
James Bond
something.
question is big news.
That's right. That's right.
Something
All right,
like that,
here you
yeah.
go. Here you go. Okay. In The Man with the Golden Gun, what is the name of Scaramanga's tiny assistant?
Knick-knack.
Right.
Knick-knack.
Correct for 2 more points. So Mike Kalinowski, 15 to
If
7.
Jeannine
15-7, he
gets
misses
8 out
one
of 8,
question.
it's tied.
Gives
If she gets
Jeannine
a spinner's
chance here to
choice, she
catch up
has
because you
to-
did miss that question. Jeannine, you are
Rom-com.
going to spin.
Yeah.
So if Jeannine,
Just get rom-coms.
An 8-point game here.
yeah. So Jeannine's
You know?
looking for romantic comedies. If Jeannine hits romantic comedies the same way Mike hit Bond, we're
Also,
looking at a pretty
this is,
damn
I
close
believe, the
game.
first Bond question that Mike has missed.
Yeah.
That 2-point miss.
That's
is a
impressive.
Big miss.
It's a big miss,
Yeah.
and it eliminates
It is
James
first of all
Bond as
impressive
far
that
as
he
a
got all the
category that
previous
Jeannine
one.
could get stuck with.
It is
So
second of
she's
all
looking
impressive
at more
that
of
we
her strengths
actually
than
got a
weaknesses on
question,
the wheel.
that they
Good
actually
point.
wrote a question that
That's what I'm
stumped
hearing.
Mike.
And so they're also looking for spinner's choice here.
Yeah, it's coming around. Spinner's choice coming in a little too hot, but we
Too
could
hot.
be looking at
Yep.
2010.
2010s.
I mean, I'd take it.
Take
but
it.
Doesn't look like she's going to
She's
stick with it. She's
looking
going away from it. Oh, Jay's coming in to talk real quick.
Jay Washington never one to shy away from camera time.
But thing is,
Jay thought of giving the middle finger, realized
Like,
there are children watching, and gave you the
I don't
thumbs up.
really
Thank you for the
know
thumbs
how
up
he is
instead.
with the other
There
categories.
it is. Does the respin.
feels confident that she can spin something better.
I like that camera shot of the
We'll
wheel,
see.
I gotta tell you.
By the way, they got the old wheel again, not the new one.
Yeah, if it hits James Bond, then you have to spin again. But what are we gonna hit here? Look at this. Coming
sell at Modern Classics.
Goes away. It looks like horror.
Or
Cameron Diaz.
That's big.
That's good. That's big. That's big. That's one of her strengths. That's
right. Okay. I did not know that was one of her strengths.
Yeah, big. All right, here we go, Jeannine.
All right, special treat here to ask the forward Cameron Diaz questions. Please welcome. She's not here.
No,
it's going to be me. It's going to be me. It's going to be me.
Scott, right,
yeah. 4 questions in the wild, wacky world of Cameron Diaz. Each one worth 2 points. Your first question: which film did Cameron Diaz and Spike Jonze work on together?
Being John Malkovich.
2 points. Yep.
Well done.
And she's off and running. All right, your next question. Who was Cameron Diaz's co-lead in the 2008 romantic comedy What Happens in Vegas?
Ashton Kutcher.
2 more points for Jeannine. Making a ball game out of this and looking to possibly be tied with Mike Kalinowski going into round number 3 as Christian Harloff takes a monumental gulp of water.
Hey, I'm stressed out of this match.
Jeannine, your penultimate question in round number 2, the world of Cameron Diaz. In My Sister's Keeper, Cameron Diaz plays a mom named Sarah. Who plays her daughter Anna in the film?
Abigail Breslin.
Wow.
Yep.
We're perfect so far.
Yeah. One more.
And Jeannine is now 1 away from a perfect round number 2. There's no bonus question for a perfect round number 2, but it does give her the right to be tied.
Should there
going
be?
into round number 3.
Question mark.
No.
All right, Jeannine. Your final question in Cameron Diaz's category.
Because
Who
otherwise
played
Mike
Cameron
would get it
Diaz's
one.
sister Rose in the 2005 film In Her Shoes?
Toni Collette.
Wow. Yes.
High game.
Toni Collette, really good in that unbelievable show.
Great round.
Well
Point
done.
score ties the game. And that shows you how big that 2 points James Bond miss
He's
was.
won James Bond. What more do you want? But then coming back with Cameron Diaz, she's been in a lot of romantic comedies, but Jeannine knows a lot of Cameron Diaz, both inside and outside of that particular subgenre. So we are tied going into round number 3. This is what you want for a pay-per-view Schmoedown throw.
It actually was. And Mike said it, too. It didn't mean anything that he hit it. It's just we're tied up here going into round number 3. How's that go?
You think Mike talked himself out of answering all the James Bond
I don't
questions
know.
because he said it doesn't mean anything?
Right.
Well, we are tied, and in round number 3, this will determine the match, lest we go to sudden death overtime. In round number 3, we need a series of numbers.
We might get there, though.
Mind, then list.
Sudden death.
Those numbers will correspond to a different category of movie
They'll
trivia.
just go
Schmoedown
on and on
know-how.
forever
Your
and ever
numbers
and
can
ever. When
range
the video is
anywhere from
long
1
enough, it
to
certainly
20.
could.
The first number you give us is going to correspond to your 2-point question, and then you'll have a 3-point question, and if we make it that far, a 5-point question. So we are tied. Jeannine and Mike are deadlocked at 15. Mike,
I mean,
since you're sitting in that
I
chair
wouldn't
with
mind
those
a
belts,
points
you're going
record.
to give us your 3 preferred numbers first. What feels lucky?
If they both hit all their questions in round 3,
And let's say they go
9,
out
6,
4
and 3.
questions
9,
in, so the
6,
final
and
score would be
3.
28-27. I'd be
There you go. So
Yeah.
for the machine,
I'd be dandy with that.
we will go first. Machine actually goes first. I will ask the machine
Have at it.
number 9. Machine number 9.
9?
Okay, you chose
8?
for category number 9. Cameron Diaz movies. All right.
And a bemused Mike Kalinowski can only smirk at the luck.
All right, here we go. 2-pointer. Cameron Diaz has played the role of Princess Fiona how many times in the Shrek franchise? 20
4.
seconds to answer.
There are 4 Shrek movies.
4.
Correct. All right, so now we bounce.
Jeannine has the lead, and Mike finds himself in the unusual position of trailing in round number 3, but he has a chance to even it up with his 2-point category. Mike, you selected number 2.
Oh, hello.
And that is in the world of directors.
apparently Princess
your
Penelope got
2-point
lost on her way to
question
Sugar Rush
happens to
and had
be,
to come across the video.
How many Daniel Craig James Bond films has Sam Mendes directed?
2. Is that your
That's the way the
fucking
questions
question? It's 2.
2.
That is correct for 2 points, and we are
Right.
tied. It's an even slate, 17 apiece.
But now we bounce back
What?
to machine. Number 6.
What?
Number 6, comedy.
It was a 2-pointer.
3 points. 3 points. All right, here you go. What popular 2003 Christmas comedy finally received a sequel in 2016? 5.
Bad Moms Christmas.
No.
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Right.
Oh.
All right. So now we stay with Jeannine. No, shoot. We go to Mike.
Yeah,
Go
Bad
back
Moms
to Mike.
came out in 2016,
Mike.
and
So
then Bad
Mike, for
Moms
your
Christmas
three-pointer, you
in
selected
2018.
12.
Yeah, 2018, yep.
And
Both pretty funny.
I can safely say you're not getting a Jimmy Bond question. This is in the world of fantasy science fiction.
So we could
Maybe
get a
you could
Jimmy
go.
Bond question.
No.
For 3 points, and
You
if
could get
want
an
to,
inner geeking question.
forcing her to answer her 5-pointer correctly. Which MCU actress co-stars with Natalie Portman in 2018's Annihilation as the character
Tessa
Joker?
Thompson.
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson.
3 points, and Mike Kalinowski is in the lead.
So Jeannine now.
Well, no sudden death
Jeannine
now.
has
no sudden death.
to hit her 5-pointer to force Mike to hit his 5. If Jeannine hits her 5, it forces Mike. However, if she misses, Mike Kalinowski will go on to
Vanellope,
play
seriously, what are you
John Roca
doing?
in round number 2.
Dude, honestly.
All right,
fuck it.
Jeannine
What
chose
the hell?
number 3. It's new releases. That's new releases.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
here we go. In Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation,
I haven't seen it.
which old school comedian voiced Vlad, who is Dracula's dad?
Andrew Dice Clay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
In Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation, which old school comedian voiced Vlad, who is Dracula's dad?
Jeannine still has one more JTE roll should she need that extra 50 seconds.
That's
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Last one, here it is. In Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation, which old school comedian voiced Vlad, who is Dracula's dad?
Oh, Mel Brooks. Huh. Okay.
5, 4, 3.
Jerry Stiller.
And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Mike the Killer Kalinowski. The answer was Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks was the answer.
I can see him doing that voice.
Mel Brooks was the answer. Nice conversation here between the Machine and Kalinowski. And man, yeah, look,
Well played by both.
it was well played by both. And look, we have ourselves a Mike Kalinowski and Roca matchup. But Jeannine went out fighting. She went out fighting. Big scrap there. And look, Frank Janisch on the Schmoedown Rundown. I
Big
think
fan
said,
of Frankie Numbers, I believe, is
me
his given
too.
name.
But he said something I thought recently on, and he said it on this week's episode, and he said it on last week's episode. Mike Kalinowski's going through a legendary run right now.
Okay.
There is a lot to go into the run, and one of those things is luck. There's no doubt about it. That doesn't take anything away from the competitor itself and what they're doing, but you need a certain amount of luck that goes through it. I don't know if you get more of that than what Mike Kalinowski got in this particular match.
No, I mean, he got a lot of James Bond questions, but as he'll tell you, as I'll tell you, fortune smiles upon you, and then you have to take advantage of that moment because we've seen time and time again in the Schmoedown how you can spin a category that you thought was your strength, only to have that be the sword that cuts your darn head off. That did not happen with Mike today. Jeannine also spinning what I would consider a strength for her.
He was.
And in terms of Jeannine, I think you look at this as a match that should give her a lot of confidence as she looks forward to next season. Because if you can stand toe-to-toe with somebody who has that much jewelry around their waist,
I'd say give
and
her
you can look
confidence
them
for
in
the
eye
team
and say, I'm gonna
tournament.
make you answer each and every one of your questions, or at least most of them. I'm going to get a 5-pointer asked to me
Of
because it's
course.
going to be important and relevant to the match. That is saying something.
I understand completely, and it was one of those things. Jeannine just played really hard. But look, now we have Jen Sturger, who's talking to both Jay Washington and the Machine. Here we go.
Thanks so much, guys. Jeannine, I know you're disappointed right now, but you just went toe-to-toe with a guy that's got 2 belts sitting on the desk, so you have to feel good about that.
I do. I really feel like I gave him a fight. I don't think he was expecting that, and I'll be back next season for sure.
Were you a little nervous when he spawned
Watch.
James Bond?
A little. I mean, his luck has been insane, so I wouldn't expect anything less. But then they're in my favor as well. So
This one is so on point right now.
Yeah, you spun Cameron Diaz. Were you pretty stoked about that?
yeah, I've been waiting for Diaz for a long time because I knew he wasn't going to get anything on me.
And also, we need to give honor to God for that because we did a prayer right before she spun the wheel a second time, and Jesus came through with a Cameron Diaz question
Hallelujah.
then and in round 3. Amen.
And Jeannine came right back through with the answer.
And
so
all
hats
the
off.
non-Christians got super offended.
Super exciting just to get an even playing field after that because after the last time.
I'm not Christian, but I'm not offended.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people would not expect me to say right now. Mike, I finally will give you credit. I watched you sweat this time. You didn't think she was going to do it, but you pulled one out. For some reason, I think the wheel needs to be impeached. I'm calling a congressional hearing on the wheel. But I'm proud as hell of you.
To be
That's
fair,
all I can really say
it
before
was
anything
with
else.
the old wheel, not the new one.
I know what this meant to you.
So the old
I
wheel
know what this
will
meant to you,
go
and
away,
granted, it's
and the
not a
new
win,
wheel
but you took
hopefully
his ass to the
won't be
limit,
this
and
biased.
That's all I can ask of you.
And that is not the last we've seen of Jeannine the Machine. We'll see you next season, girl. You've had a hell of a run.
Thank you. Thank you. And if I can't get a belt yet, I can at least look like one.
Damn right.
Amen. Back to you guys.
Jay, she's
Class
married.
C in defeat, as always, both Jay Washington and Jeannine the Machine.
I'm looking
obviously.
into the Constitution of the United
Can you
States.
impeach a
You
wheel?
can impeach an inanimate object.
Not sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be a yes for me.
Well, look, man, that is something. That is something. That match was
Or as
great.
I've been
It
starting
was
to
a great
coin,
match.
all aboard the Yikes
They both
Express on that
hit
one.
Their categories
Yeah.
round 2. Jeannine starts off round 3 by getting a Cameron Diaz question. Follows up, Mike gets a James Bond question. The randomness and the just in general,
That's
the
not
amount
the
of
wheel.
luck.
That's
No,
not
that's
the
just
wheel.
round three.
Randomness?
That's just round
That's
3.
not a
And the way
random.
that they picked their numbers, that it just all seemed like it was just tit for tat,
It's
and then they were
fixed.
throwing big punches at each other. It just Mike landed the heavier shots.
But
at the
yes,
end, and
clearly
here he
that's
is
what I'm trying
now
to say. I'm
advancing to round
clearly
number
trying to
2
say that it's
to face
fixed.
a guy that he's been friends with for a long time and at odds
Hashtag
at
fix
for
the
a long
Schmoedown.
time and defending his team titles on
Hashtag
October
make the
19th.
Schmoedown great
Roca and
again.
Kalinowski going head to head, but Jen Sturger is with corruption right now. Hear that?
So would
Guys, I think I
Christian
figured out
dye
why
his
Chance
hair
is always wearing
orange?
Sunglasses. It's because I am blinded by all of this gold over here.
How do you think I have such a good tan? I walk around with these all day. The sun's up on my face there. Looking great.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes. Mike, congratulations. That was a fantastic win. She did take you to the limit, though.
You know what? You guys are out there. You're watching this live. You've seen what has been building to this. We go at it. Tit for tat every single time. Every time I think I get her in a joke or a dig at her, she comes back, and I'm like, oh, man, she got me good. I was coming in ready for this. No, I'm not going to. She was phenomenal. This is not a round 1 match. This was like a 3rd round match in the tournament, how well she played. Yes, I was.
This could have been a
absolutely
semifinal.
right. They were asking me, 'cause
Easily.
They knew I was facing Roca after this. Who is I'm more worried about? Jeannine. She was out for blood. That's the last time we were together. And I was so. It happened to bond. Yes, I was lucky on that. But then she leveled the field, and she did better than me. She had a perfect round. That shows what a competitor she is. I'm not going to sit here and talk trash.
Time.
I'll do that in about an hour online. But for right now, I'm sorry, man. I skinned through that one. I had a great first round. But what I do is, I study my weaknesses. I'd never seen Annihilation. So what did I do over this time? I had some downtime between my matches. I watched a ton of movies that people think, they just think it's Intergeek when I watch movies. I've been watching movies animated. I knew that Trolls question. So I know my weaknesses and I go forward. And now here with Roca. Outlaw, come out and play.
It just seems like you and Roca, though, have had this. This has been a long time coming.
Oh, watching him play in these matches, it's like Tyson at the end of his career. He's just like bobbing and weaving. They're trying to stay up. Against Silvestrini, I was waiting for him to lean over the table and start biting her ear to try and win that match. I mean, this guy, and then they come back with it. Poor Dan's got to carry him to the teams, man. Now we got to do that, and I've got to embarrass him live for a 3rd time. I mean, come on, Roca. But if you're glad for punishment, my friend, let's go step up to the plate. It's been a long time coming here. Long time. We're going to have some fun with this match. We're going to have some fun.
Ken, I would say that he said everything, but I'm sure you have something to add.
Mike does not need my voice. Mike knows what he's doing. We are here as part of an organization, something which, by the way, Jeannine the machine. I can't say enough kind words about her. She's a talented artist. She's a great personality. And Jay took her as far as he can go. But let's be honest, Jay's out here like an extra on a TV show trying to say a line in front of a camera to get his SAG vouchers. All right? You need to join a real organization, Jeannine, and we'll take you to the top. All right? And as far as Roca, we love you. You got a great career. But this is kind of like making another Rambo. It seems good on paper, and then you see it. All right? We're ready for you.
Grace, you got to be.
I mean, he's not entirely
Oh my
wrong.
gosh. Yeah, look.
It's like it's like making a
I'm not
Terminator.
going to talk any trash about her, but corruption is always going to be better. And you know what? Who doesn't love bringing Grandpa out to play? You know what I mean, Roca?
Back to the desk.
Shots fired once again. And this continuous battle between the Horsemen and corruption continues now into round number 2. Listen to what we've got already.
Take a shot every time someone calls Roca Grandpa.
If you go to the left side of the bracket, you've got Ben Bateman facing.
Wouldn't he
Paul
be
Preston.
great-great-grandpa with his
versus
8?
Stacey Howard. The other side of the bracket, you got
I think I missed
Ethan
about 10
Irwin
greats
playing
there, but yeah, something like
Bibiani,
that.
and now John Roca facing Mike Kalinowski. What a bracket. The finals, Orlando, October 19th. There is a possibility that either John Roca or Mike Kalinowski will be playing twice that night if they are indeed in the finals of the tournament.
Are you done yet?
Because it's cheaper for us to fly them
Great.
as it is for 2 other people.
Oh yeah, you
Not
said
that
it.
we would
You
ever.
said it. I guess is that everything? Is that everything?
That's not everything.
It's not everything.
That's not everything because I did
The
some
nuke.
research.
Yes.
Can you impeach an inanimate object?
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson tried to impeach a steel-tip plow in 1816.
Didn't happen, no.
Didn't work.
No, I say that in jest because the reason why I wanted we said at the beginning it's kind of a doubleheader, but not as far as matches go. But there was the match itself, and then the nuke. So what is the nuke? What indeed is the nuke? And for those of you just tuning in, maybe missed the beginning of it. Robert Meyer Burnett, he was the commissioner for 1 month. He approached me. He had an idea.
Almost
he
2.
said, listen, this is what I think. This could shake up the entire Schmoedown. I looked at it and I said, well, with some moderations, I think that actually could work very well, but I have to talk to Mark about it. We discussed it.
We did, at length.
We did, and we put it into play. So here is what the nuke is. Next season, season 7, everything will change. Meaning there will be a full draft next season. And doesn't mean just factions. The entire Schmoedown roster of 115 people will be placed on a roster. There will be 10 managers. 10 managers that will have a spot, 10 different spots on their team. Things are being modified, but right now that is the overall idea. What you will have is a draft that you will be able to come watch live. You'll be able to watch that live. The managers, 10 managers who will be announced, will create teams. Single records will stay the same. Teams records will stay the same. However, they will also be part of bigger teams. For example, if Jay Washington is a manager and creates a team, calls them the Urban Gladiators. The Urban Gladiators will now be a full team that each match that anyone plays will count for the Urban Gladiators record. At the end, there will be a larger prize. Now, one of the other things that people ask is, what if you manage champions? Mike Kalinowski, for example, is the Inner Geekdom champion. If he is still the Inner Geekdom champion or team's champion by the end, Grace Hancock and Ken Knapsack will have the option to keep him. They will lose a draft pick by doing so, but they will have him in the first round. There will be rounds that people will pick. There will be a full-on league. It will be a team sport. Think about esports style. The Schmoedown in general will change, and a lot of drafting and, I think, cozying up will happen.
The E stands for electronic. Christian, you're right. We did have a conversation about this, and now I have some follow-up questions that I did not get a chance to ask you off camera. So let's do it live. So we have all these teams that we love, and they're gone now.
Right.
Their records stand.
Not necessarily.
But they're gone.
Not necessarily. So here, that's a good question. So the champions will be protected. The team champions will be protected by their manager if they want. The top 5 teams will also be protected, meaning this. If right now, if the odd couple was picked, if Jeff Snyder was picked in round number 1, Andreyko would automatically go with him. But the manager that chooses him would lose their first and second round pick.
I understand completely.
Now, for 5 through 10 ranked teams, for example, let's say the Scream Queens. If someone picked Kaylin, they would have the option to either keep Haley or not. Now, anyone ranked under 10,
Blown
not
up
safe.
Dunzo.
That's it. So there's going to be a lot, and more rules will come out. But you're going to see throughout the remainder of this season, you will see managers start to cozy up to players. You might see because you're thinking right now, wait a minute, 10 managers. Who are the other managers? You know a couple of them. But there's going to be some other managers, new ways in general. Like, think about certain people that you might want to see a manager, or maybe you never thought could be a manager.
You think you're going to see some managers doing some cozying up to some competitors towards the end of the season after this announcement?
I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and I think that a full-on draft, which you will be able to attend if you want to, will happen in January. So that's just the beginning of it. A lot to come. The Schmoedown, the landscape changes dramatically.
That was the nuke.
Next season, the nuke changes the entire. Doesn't matter who's gonna. You might have a team that you know right now. They might not be together, or they might, and they might have a very different manager. Imagine Andrew Guy being managed by Tom Dagnino.
In a world.
Imagine all that. Imagine all these. Imagine Kevin Smets being drafted by Ken Knapsack and Grace Hancock. There's a lot of different things that could happen next season.
No, Ken and Grace
there
will
be
go
trades
with Mike.
Available next season. You can
Imagine
drop players.
somehow
You can do a lot of different things that will happen
Ben
next
and
season.
Drew
and the fantasy
get back
teams
on the
will
same
be bigger
team,
and badder than ever.
and team
All right,
action
so
is
that's the
Last question.
reinstated.
How much of this was Robert Meyer Burnett's idea, and how much of this was your taking the raw
Yes.
clay that he puked up in your office and
Yes.
you're holding it into something?
98% of it was my idea.
That's what I like to hear. I'm going to rank my all-time favorite nukes. Number 1, Nuke Lelouch, Tim Robbins, and Bull Durham. Number 2, Duke Nukem. Number 3, this nuke that you have just helped create.
That was it, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do you
No
think?
Hiroshima.
Who should be
I
drafted?
kid.
What
I
teams?
kid.
What's going to happen next? You thought Anarchy
Well,
was
everyone
crazy.
knows
The nuke is gonna
Nagasaki was
change
the
it all.
more effective.
But congratulations again to Mike the Killer Kalinowski.
Big win.
He faces John Roca in
my
the second round of the Schmoedown. And yes,
We
he
are
faces him
going
again
to
in
help.
Orlando for the team
Yeah.
titles on October 19th. Not only should you get your tickets for the SchmoedownLive.com, you can also have a chance to compete in the Schmoedown. If you're one of the few that are there, you have a ticket. You'll be put into a fatal four-way inside this was a raffle that we're doing.
It's going to be very exciting. You could win a trip to Los Angeles to compete in a Schmoedown next season. Last but certainly not least, once again,
on,
we
Nico.
implore you
Come
if
on,
you consider
Nico.
donating anything to the army that is currently waging war against cancer. Karen and Paul, they are stalwarts. They are going to get through this, and you can help them right now. Go to our fan Facebook page. Go to Twitter, my Twitter, the Schmoedown Twitter. You can find how you can donate and help out Paul and Karen. We're sending all of our love your way.
Absolutely. Thank you to Mark Ellis. Thank you guys for watching live. And thank you to all the competitors. And for our studio audience today, we will see you next time.
Yeah. Mm. Cool. Yeah.
There's a lot to
kind of
unpack right
feels-
now.
It kind of feels like I should be happier about this, and I'm not, and I don't really know why. It just kind of feels that Jeannine lost it rather than Mike won it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, especially after that second round when you have 15-15, you wanted to go to the 5-pointer for both of them, but that doesn't happen, and that's kind of damn.
Also,
Even though I am happy for Mike.
I mean, look, of course I'm happy for Mike, and I'm happy that, a small part of my bracket stayed intact, because which would I rather see? Jeannine and Roca one-on-one, or Kalinowski Roca one-on-one? Sorry, but, given the Founding Fathers and corruptions, rivalry lately, and given the fact those two have known each other for almost 20 years, yeah, I want to see Mike and Roca go one-on-one. Come on. That's too awesome to let up. So, but I'm just a little bummed that Jeannine couldn't get a little more luck thrown her way in that match.
Okay, look, she had all the luck she could get. I think you're hoping more for bad luck on Kalinowski's end.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the bong again.
Which I
Because
swear to God, if he
how many more fucking times is he gonna get that?
if he spins Bond either at Orlando or against Roca, then
You
I'm
will lose
sorry. Yeah, literally, I will never root for him again.
You're kind of like Jules Winfield. Spin Bond one more time, motherfucker. I dare you.
I am. I fucking am. It's like, look, I was happy that Mike did manage to get the Inner Geekdom belt back. I was happy that, he was part of the Shire Wolves final team match and that, he and Chance did come away with a win. But how many times are you gonna fucking spin Bond, Mike? 5 times. 5 fucking times.
And counting.
And counting.
Yeah, that's the game. Now the nuke. We actually knew this.
I did.
Yeah, we heard about this a while ago, and I heard about it. I don't know how I heard about it. Someone told me. The entire draft idea. Initially, I didn't really understand it. I still don't really, because I just don't do fantasy picks, and I kind of get the principle. I get it that like people will choose in like 1-1-1, 2-2, etc. until you have everything done.
Exactly. It's same as in football, and I actually mean both. American handbag as you phrase it, and also soccer. But yeah, when we have new players who are coming into the respective leagues, whether it's whatever European division or American or wherever in the world, so there will be all these new talent will be put together in a pool, and all the managers will get to go in a order, sort of based on how successful they are as a team. They will then go pick who they want in their teams.
Okay, that's not how it goes here. But
all right, fine, but
whatever.
But yes, but
that's the thing. This is an extremely American thing.
Fair enough.
I don't even get the concept because I follow certain sports. Nowhere will you find it.
Fair enough.
As far as
but I'm gonna be brutally honest here. Sure, I've known about this since the New York Live event when Christian talked about it after all the main fans left.
He revealed it.
Yeah, at the for all the VIP audience. But I'm gonna be honest. I think he's doing this too soon. Because we're barely a full year removed from Anarchy.
Yeah.
And that completely shook everything up. And now we're about to do that again only a year and a half later when there's still so much more that I feel could have been done. I personally would have said, wait, give it one more year before you enact the nuke.
Well, like in my opinion, Anarchy put a whole lot of things in motion for this year, and that is why this year has been this great. A lot of teams that wouldn't be a team before Anarchy turned out really well, like the Odd Couple, for example, or other people stayed with their teams that they already had and are still doing well with that. But that's the thing. Like some of these Anarchy teams have only existed for less than a year, have been doing extremely well. I mean, heck, the current team champions is an Anarchy team, Corruption, and it just shows that Anarchy did a whole lot of good things and actually shook up the Schmoedown in a very interesting way, so that now there's a lot happening and new factions will form. And yeah, it seems like you're already going to change it up again. Like we just had to change after a couple of years of just settling with like however the competitors wanted it. You had a huge change that shook things up for the league, and now you're going to change it again. Why?
Well, I mean, and obviously to expand the league and to get even more competitors in to really start to shake things up. But
Maybe.
I also do feel it is just a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
Or at least give us 2 years of the aftermath of Anarchy. But that said, I'm still excited because I can't wait to see who the new talent is. Because let's go back to that number that he said.
150.
115.
That's a lot.
And I know for a fact, in the active competitors right now, teams, singles, Inner Geekdom, Star Wars, that number's not 115, son. That number is way lower by about, I'd say, 20, possibly 30 people. So who's coming in?
I would think that they are seriously looking at some fan leagues, fan league competitors who have been showing their worth in singles, in geek, singles geek mostly because it's really difficult to make out. To look at teams and really figure out what is the competitor that you want from there.
Yeah.
I can see who's a good team player, but yeah. So I do think they have their eye on several competitors from the fan leagues, and maybe they still have some in their own personal circles that, or like other reviewers that haven't appeared yet that should come back. Like, for example, Chris Stuckman once had one match against Jeff Snyder, and he won that one. So that shows he's a good competitor. And now, to be fair, Stuckman, I know, doesn't really have the time or the money to fly out to Los Angeles every time. But if they could make that happen, that would be an interesting competitor. And that's just an example of one. It might not happen that Stuckman is going to compete. It's just the one that comes is up the. It's off the top of my head. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and to sort of double down on, like, who are the new people that they could be looking at. Like, look, Case, there is somebody in the fan leagues who you and I can both safely say right now, they are definitely worthy of being in the Schmoedown because they are that talented.
I don't know why he isn't in the why he isn't in the Schmoedown yet.
Well, it's because he lives in Wisconsin, but otherwise,
no, I know.
As
but
soon as but now that the Schmoedown is doing all of their super chat shows on the Schmoedown Entertainment Network and whatnot, like, they can afford it, and they're going to afford it, and they're hopefully going to get him finally, so that way, the rest of us have a shot at getting a damn geek belt.
Oh, no. This is where you are mistaken. I have a shot at that belt even with Robert Parker. I just need to study more, and I'm busy with that. But I'm able to get that belt from him when I get there. But yeah, it would be a little more helpful if he were in the Schmoedown and couldn't compete in these fan leagues. Because then, yeah, who's my competition?
Me.
I kid. No, you would be competition, that's for sure. But yeah, no, Robert Parker is definitely one, and you have a couple of. Actually, I've said this before.
Yeah, several.
You should be in the Schmoedown in any of the divisions because you know your stuff in all of the divisions. You've set yourself Sean Stamberg.
Yeah,
I believe.
Seriously, get him in there. Jeremy, Sandy, get them in there. Please, for the love of God, give Jen Kemp more matches. Oh.
Yeah. Well, okay. To be fair, I think that Jeremy and Jen are compromised by the fact that they are question writers now.
Unfortunately.
So that's why they can. Otherwise, yeah, it would be great to see. So there's a lot of potential in terms of we are going on very long with this one.
I'm aware of that. So yeah, let's start the wraps up with just sort of like, I'll just simply say this. While to sort of reiterate, like, yes, I do think this is too soon, but I also think this is going to be the new institution for years to come. I don't think they're going to step outside of doing it this way now. And plus, we know for a fact that most of the teams are still going to stay together. I mean, unless I get lucky and maybe somebody gets both Rachel Silvestrini and Haley Fouch. Unfortunately breaks up, Inky and the Brain and Scream Queens respectively, but instead puts Haley and Rachel on a team together so they can be a powerhouse team. I can dream.
Simply because at that point you're taking the best parts of the team, and that's no disrespect to
Devon and Kaylin.
No, disrespect to Devon. Yeah, Kaylin was the name I was looking for. Like, no disrespect to her, but I do feel that Haley is definitely the better one, and she showed that in her singles match. And with Devon, I'm like, yeah, you're just not good enough. And I don't think he'll ever be good enough, unfortunately.
Now, if when he's a great hype man, that's the guy you want.
Yeah, like, I think he could be best as a manager, helping people.
Which actually, okay, you know what? Hold on. I know we're going long enough, but you know what? I don't care. Here, how about this? Name me a couple of people that you could honestly see as a manager next season, then.
Okay. Josh McCouga. Look, as entertaining as the Wildberries are, they're not in the top 10, and that means that they're going to be split up next season because, they're just not good enough. But McCouga, I mean, the guy has energy for 10 people, and he could easily lead a team, like, with his silliness on camera, where the team can just focus on not being that silly because they got McCouga for that. Devon would be another one, I feel. Other than that, from the top of my head, I don't know. What do you have?
I'll actually I'll double down on your McCouga, but I'll also say if Roca either doesn't win the team match or doesn't win his next singles match,
right,
I think he finally hangs up the towel and becomes a manager. Because he's not going to leave. He's never going to leave the Schmoedown.
No, he's not going to leave the Schmoedown, but I do think, I do agree that Roca is probably done with competing, but you can't have him leave the Schmoedown.
No.
So him as a manager, that would be gold.
Also, just because I want her on camera again. Cushing.
Yeah, as a manager,
because well, I mean, shit. With somebody as knowledgeable as her across literally all the divisions, she could just breed the next champ.
Except for, I'm kind of holding out hope that she comes back to competing one day.
Me too.
That's kind of the thing. Like, Clark and Rachel deserve to be in the Schmoedown, but they deserve to be competing because they're good. And that's why I'm kind of holding out hope. Like, it would be nice to see them back competing again, rather than managing. Because with managing, that's kind of not. I think.
Well, I mean, it's kind of implied that they're done. But to be fair, Burnett is a manager, but he is an active competitor again. So.
Okay. So there are options.
There are options.
All right, guys. That's all we can say for now. We went long, but we wanted to discuss the nuke a bit and the potential. So with that said, please like the video, comment on anything you saw. What are your thoughts about the nuke? What do you think will happen next season? And who do you want to see in the Schmoedown that isn't there yet? Let us know in the comments. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And Chris, where can people find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, Letterboxd, and Discord at Skywalker Dome. And you guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A Channel. Please like our Facebook page, join our Facebook group. And this Friday on the Who Cares Anime Podcast, we're going to do a little deep dive into some of our favorite horror movies. And the week after that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, as I announced, we will be hosting both Whitney Seibold and William Bibiani to talk about, of course, horror, because it's the month of horror. It's Halloween. It's October. So, yeah. Hello. Like, this is, I'm salivating in the mouth just thinking about this damn conversation I'm going to have with them.
Oh, God. Anyway, it's October, and I have actually watched a couple of horror movies that I like good enough. Even though in the past I've said that I'm not a big fan of the genre, I'm liking it a little more now. Still not the biggest fan, but liking it a little more. So yeah, I think it should be a good discussion on Friday. And then with Bibbs and Whitney, which I probably won't be able to attend. And then hopefully later in the month, someone else. Someone I might have just mentioned.
Someone you might have just mentioned who also is quite a wonderful actress, and she does know a lot about horror. Please,
She does.
Please,
Oh,
Clark Wolf, get back to me on that.
With that said, guys, you can follow me at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Facebook. Case Cornelius, simply my name. And up until our next video, take care.
Hell yeah!